Hey, what's up? It's Angi. This is New Path Tarot. So I'm gonna get started, do some cards, see what's up. I'm gonna have it start out as a general, and then if you see timestamps in the description, that means that I broke it off into groups and see what's up for individuals as a collective. So I've been having a hard time doing readings lately for this channel because of everything going on in the world. It's just kind of like affects me, and I don't feel like doing readings when I don't feel right about it. So like I've recorded a reading or two and I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. But if you see this video, it's because I made it through it. We made it happen. Looks like for the collective right now, being that this is a general reading, anybody watching this would apply to, it looks like things are mellowed out a little bit right now, more than they have been. That applies to me obviously too, like I was just saying. But for you might also have experienced a chaotic kind of energy, and now things are kind of in a manageable place. Not to say everything's glorious, but also nothing is crazy bad. Here's a thing that I'm picking up on, though, is don't think that just because things aren't currently bad that means to get complacent about them. It's like, remember the bad so that you make proper future decisions. Because if you are like, well, things are okay now, so I'm just going to put up with them, then you are going to end up having another spiral where it causes you to, reevaluate again, to where you go, oh, well, I guess I should maybe take this a little bit more serious, and then you don't, and then you just keep doing the same thing. Basically, it seems like a roller coaster theme. Ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. But it doesn't feel, I'm not getting any indication of there being any kind of like passion. So I don't know, what we're talking about, be it daily life stuff, career, relationship, anything, but it applies to any of them, because whatever the thing is that I'm talking about, it seems devoid of passion. And that means a career change would need to happen. That means a relationship change would need to happen. And that means life circumstances or whatever. So in your instance, you need to evaluate, take an assessment of the reality of the situation without the blinders on, without the hopeful that maybe it'll improve because it's okay right now. Maybe that last time was just the last one or something, because I'm just getting here that it's not. So, it wasn't like an isolated thing. So general that I can't narrow it down more than that. But I can think of many examples how that could apply to individuals. You can tell me your life and I'll be like, okay, that's where that applies. Somebody else tells me their life, I'm like, okay, that's where that applies. All in all, when push comes to shove, the conclusion card is judgment, and that is an indication that it, at least with the intuition I'm getting with the card at this time, the combined of the two, the call needs to be made, is the vibe. Like, it's like you need to make a decision and call it, and not just let it be and let it happen the way whatever happens kind of thing. Chaotic chance is the term that I like to use for it. Like, you go throughout your day and like things will happen. Whatever happens. Or you can go through your day like, I'm gonna take charge of the way my life unfolds. I'm gonna make decisions based on what it is that I'm wanting to choose for myself. So yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna clear that away, pull more cards. So if we're talking about a relationship here, we'll dig in a little bit more. Because I'm not gonna say this is a different message than what I was just saying. If you heard it, it applies regardless. Because you got 10 of Cups and Lovers both reversed. You also got 7 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles reversed. You got Strength reversed and Chariot reversed. I think you get what I mean by me emphasizing that. You got some other ones too, but I'm, obviously wanting to draw that out. The very best card you got in all of these is the 2 of Wands. You know what that means, right? It means all this sucks, start fresh. Honestly, like straight up. If we're talking about a relationship, it's like that isn't working. Now, if you're in a relationship that's freaking awesome, then this doesn't apply to you. Keep in mind, this is a general reading. You could pick the pick-a-pile part, and I don't know what we're going to talk about in that one. But I do feel like I will be doing that, so that's why I'm like, you can skip ahead if this doesn't vibe with you. But if your whole life is kind of like, nah, right now, then the whole life might need a 2 of Wands instead of. And what I'm thinking also is you've already been given the Ace of Wands. Now you have to put it into action, because the Ace of Wands never ever ever goes anywhere unless you actually do something with it. So you're holding that wand, go do something with it in accordance to what your intuition is telling you to do, as opposed to what your head is telling you to do. Right. Jesus. 10 of Swords coming out is the very first one I'm putting down. Now, I didn't say what the cards were in the very first spread. Tower reversed came out. That stuck out to me in my recollection of them. But I don't know. I feel like sometimes when I'm calling out the card names, it doesn't really matter. Because if you know cards, then I don't want you to get hung up on what you think they mean anyway, Same thing, really. Let me see what the remaining cards are before I... You got the Ace of Wands in these remaining cards. Well, that does kind of tell me something. I'm gonna view these remaining cards, because I wasn't gonna pull more, but I did want to see what was left. These remaining cards, I feel like, are telling me some background information. Okay, and if I'm going to read it that way, here we go. Wishes have not been fulfilled in a broad sense. For example, let's say you manifested, or you did manifestation work to bring in a soulmate, and you got somebody and they weren't that, so you're like, okay, what the hell did I do wrong here? You got the Ace of Wands coming back up again. Not again, I just talked about it. And I was like, I think you already got the Ace of Wands. Well, being that it's a underlying factor, I think this has been going on a while. I think this is like a choice that should have been made, could have been made, wasn't made, chose the other path instead. Maybe it was an easier path, maybe whatever your reasons. If you're picking between two people, feels like, oops, maybe I made the wrong choice. Therefore, my life has been Four of Cups, pretty boring, stagnant, not a lot of growth, not a lot of excitement, devoid of passion, as I started with. Okay, so I'm going to put those to the side and look at the ones right here a little more. So yeah, that Ten of Swords right there next to the Temperance, there's some healing to do because of some kind of betrayal, backstabbing is usually the gist. It can be obviously other things too, but that's what I'm getting right here, is there was some kind of Seven of Swords came up in the last spread. It does feel related. It's like there was some kind of deception involved that affected the dynamics of things. Something needs to be done about it. It's not just like it is what it is. It needs to be addressed in some manner. Okay. I was gonna say now might not be the right time, and I'm like, okay, so when? Then I'm like, actually, Knight of Swords means fast. What does it mean then? It means there was like a hesitancy, a blockage, a non-action, being held back, not taking action, whatever. And then it's like somebody waking up one day and going, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this all of a sudden. You know, like I was waiting for the right moment. Well, right moment never came, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take care of it. But on the other hand, that is the right moment. It kind of goes together. You're waiting for that big push. That was the big push, was you saying it's like you gave up to it coming in through divine intervention, so you're like, I give up. And then it's like, oh wait, here it is, you know. So you got Moon and Emperor reversed. You know, it just feels like if I don't, and I'm saying this from first perspective, obviously, if I don't do this, then it's just going to keep holding me back and limiting me in some way. And those ways are going to be different for everybody, but the Ten of Pentacles coming up earlier reversed, and the King of Pentacles coming up reversed feels a lot like prosperity. Feels like a lot like an opportunity that can't go anywhere because it involves taking action in order to do so. So there's that. Okay, so now that was general. Let's split into groups, and in order for me to determine what group you're in, let me shuffle these up real quick. Like I said, if everything's going great in your life, then that whole general reading probably doesn't apply. But we'll break it down. Okay, so the way we're gonna know which group you're in is, all three swords, hold. All three reversed too. Group 1, you are 6 of Swords reversed. Group 2, you are 2 of Swords reversed. And group 3, you are 8 of Swords reversed. The swords are like, they don't play. Swords are like, hey, life sucks right now. And it might, it might. If it doesn't, then this probably isn't your reading today. You might be needing a more uplifting spiritual vibe kind of reading. Because I feel like these 3 piles are each differently talking about the same energy but in different ways. I'm not sure what's going to actually happen though, So yeah, are you going to be the 6 of Swords, the 2 of Swords, or the 8 of Swords for this? Okay. Hello. 6 of Swords, 2 of Swords, 8 of Swords. It says 6 of Swords to a store at 8 of Swords. Like, what does that even mean? I don't know. Whatever. I'm shuffling back up. I gotta write it down. My memory don't work like that. I can't remember things. Nope. You could say it 5 minutes ago. I'm like, I don't know. Okay, so pile 1, 6 of Swords, people. What do you got going on specifically for you guys? Boo. Okay. Wonder if you guys also feel drawn to the 2 of Swords pile because it's in here. Okay, so you got the Wheel reversed, 4 of Wands, Justice, 2 of Swords reversed, 3 of Swords, 4 of Cups reversed, King of Swords reversed, 9 of Wands reversed, Ace of Swords reversed, and the Chariot upright. Okay, so like your only upright cards are Justice and Chariot. That tells me that you're going through a karmic cycle. Whatever's up right now is something that it feels like it's an ending or a conclusion of something that if you have it drag on, it's just gonna cause undue hardship for you and anyone else that's involved. If this has something to do with legal stuff, like you're just gonna have to do it anyway, get through it, bypass it, whatever. I know like some court stuff is being delayed right now because of COVID. So if you're watching this at a later time, that might not be a factor anymore. But if you're watching it now and it's still a factor, it feels like you're going to have to, even if you have to work through somebody to get something resolved legally. Because the Chariot card comes up as the last card. If it came up as the first card, we'd be having a whole different conversation. It depends on where it's at too, and it depends on what it's around. And your start is the Wheel reversed, and you got the 4 of Wands and the 2 of Swords framing Justice. The reversed framing Justice. So that's your home life. That's your intuition. 2 of Swords reversed is I'm getting intuitive messages, but I'm not following them because I don't have proof that they're true. And 3 of Swords is saying I'm trying to do self-preservation because so it could be a fear of rejection, But yeah, that 4 of Wands reversed is like daily life stuff. So the general reading would have applied to you, and it would be in regard to daily life stuff. Could also be in regard of love life for your group. It could be both. It could be one or the other. Depends. But Chariot at the end tells me things will move forward, but what's that what's that Ace of Swords reversed right in front of it telling me? It's going to have to be of your own accord, because it's not going to come from external. You're going to be the one who has to move things. So it's like these horses aren't going to pull themselves. You're going to have to drive them. So let's get more. For the love of God, 10 of Swords, really? And 2 of Cups reversed. Hey, you got your 10 of Pentacles upright, though. That's good. I like that. Everybody likes that. Oh, there's 2 of Wands coming back out from the general reading again. Yours is basically like a continuation. So instead of me repeating stuff, let me see if I can get something new here. 2 of Cups in the middle of it is in the same position that Justice was in the last spread, and I'm just kind of thinking they're related, like an ending of a contract. So I'm feeling like, you know, you got something legal going on, but it's on a delay. But right now you got like a makeshift agreement kind of thing that's temporary. Or that's the solution, is you need to do that. Because the 10 of Swords is showing me that this isn't like a temporary thing. This is a line drawn in the sand. It's like so many attempts have been made. You know, there's going to be no more. It's final. It's done. It's dead in the water. Not going to happen. External to you, I mean. You're going to have to. So I do like seeing that 10 of Pentacles out there, though. It just feels like it's so, you know, sticking out there. Like a motivation, maybe. It does. It feels like it's like something to strive for in light of everything. And you might see why I haven't done a reading, because even this one to me feels like it's kind of pessimistic, and what's the point of that? Nobody wants to have a pessimistic reading, right? But if that's your situation, then whatever, you already know. If I were to say something all like super butterflies and rainbows, you'd be like, yeah, right, that's not even connected to me at all, you know? Like, by me being like this, you're like, yeah, that's definitely my life, for sure. So there's that. That 2 of Swords reversed. You're getting intuition about things, but for whatever reason you're not believing it. You're doubting it, you know, and you're making decisions based on not intuition. So that's not gonna be good. That doesn't help anything. Let's see, anything else? Well, overall, for these remaining cards, full. I just feel with your reading, I'm looking at whatever ones are upright as opposed to all of them, because the ones that are reversed are kind of more like a underlying but not loud message. There's so much contradictory, and there's so much up and down. It's weird. It's like somebody who would go, yeah, there it is, the Two of Pentacles, it makes sense. Somebody who would go back and forth, and like 1 minute they're like this, the next minute they're like that. Then they're back to that, then they're back to that. It feels like there's like two opposing things, and they're both equally strong. So clearly some introspection has to be done in order to determine which one is actually valid and which one should be considered and followed on. Now you have the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. These are both things that are not acted on yet. And will they be? I'm not sure. The Wands one, yes. Pentacles one, no. Not, take it back. Wands one first, Pentacles one as your final. Here's why. The Wands has to happen first in order to pave the way for the final. Now, and by final I mean final card, which is the Page of Pentacles. So the Knight of Wands here is the one that carries that wand forward. Carries forward with a message, has something to say. It's going to change something, thus paving the way for the Page of Pentacles to happen, which feels a lot more grounded. Information needs to be shared. New things discovered and understood. Will change perspective. That's usually the Hanged Man talking about a change of perspective, but this Death reverse has me looking at it like, okay, when you're reversed though, what are you trying to insinuate here? And there's a lot of things, but I basically just worked through them as the main message. But it does feel like for some of you, there's something that needs to be revisited, re-looked at, re-examined, reconsidered. And it's all related to everything I've said thus far. So let's say there was a choice that was made. It was the wrong choice. So then let's flip to the other side. What would happen if you choose that choice going forward? Because you obviously can't go back in the past and choose that choice. But what happens if you do that in the future? Well, there's that. The Ace, or the Knight of Wands is initiating that, and the Page of Pentacles is beginning it. You get the difference between initiating and beginning, because the Knight is the messenger, so that's the initiation, but the beginning of it is the Page of Pentacles, who's starting the process of taking that Ace of Pentacles and doing something with it. Because the Two of Pentacles is like, has been this back and forth thing, and it's like, okay, that's got to end. The mental weighing the odds here, or whatever, has to end. The Page has to ground it into reality by doing something with it, so that you can end the Five of Pentacles that's showing up here. Five of Pentacles is like one of the worst pentacle cards you can get for money. You got to shift that, and ideally you will shift it because of that Page, but it's not a guarantee. Obviously, you have to do something with that. I'll remind you again, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, nothing's going to happen unless you do something with it. Starting with the Knight of Wands, delivering a message. that will get the ball rolling. All right, let me look at these last 3 cards. Make sure there's nothing residual to talk about. Yeah, I mean, the Fool is a new, fresh start. So, the Knight of Cups reversed is like, hey, this isn't an emotional message. And the 6 of Pentacles reversed is, this isn't something you're doing for somebody else. This is like you being like, you know what, I'm going to live my life for me, not for somebody else. I've tried living my life for somebody else. Look where that's gotten me. Now I'm going to live my life for me. And that's my driving force, my driving factor. And see where that gets me. It's like, if one thing didn't work, let me try the other thing. Okay? So that's it for you guys. If you did feel drawn to the next one, which was, oh no, it went away. Was it? Yeah, it was the 2 of totally went away, and that sucks. The 2 of Swords, though. If you felt like that one worked for you also, then stick around while I shuffle these up real quick. God, it's been so rainy the last few days, and I'm like not able to do what I wanted to do, which I had some inspiration and motivation to like actually start getting back into shape, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and it requires me being outside, and then I'm like, well, it's raining, so I guess not. Maybe I will soon. No, I will. I have a few days coming up that I can get this ball rolling on my own. Shit. What are you? What are you cards telling me? I'm gonna put these to the side because I don't know yet. Gotta dig in first. All right, pile 2. If you pick the 2 of Swords, let's get started. I hope I have a more uplifting message than I got for the first pile, because it just, I'd like to give nice fluffy messages. I'd love to. All right, but here's how you're connected to the general reading. Yes, true, but you do have a better message than the first group, but not yet. Your cards start out the same energy. It's like, bleh. But then you're gonna have the Ace of Swords, the 4 of Wands, and the 9 of Cups coming in for the finale. Really nice. I like that for you. Now, how do we get there? Well, it seems like the stuff that's going on in your life right now is you're like a victim to circumstances. It doesn't seem like there's much you can do. Not to say there isn't, but I'm just saying, like, even if you make some changes and, you know, switch things up, you're still going to have to deal with the residual. So it's not like it's going to go anywhere. But I'm just going to say it straight up. If you got things that you don't like how they're going, it ain't going to change for you. You're going to have to be involved. And so if you picked 1 and 2, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you just picked 1, I'm not going to dwell on it. I mean, if you just picked 2, I'm not going to dwell on it. So the Swords here, what are we talking about? I think somebody needs to tell you something. Now, this is funny because group 1, it was, they needed to tell somebody something. Like, they needed to initiate a conversation. I'm getting the opposite for you guys in 2. I'm getting for you guys that you need to hear something from someone else, and that they have information to give you that's going to help you line up your life properly. It feels really like a good energy. It feels like it's going to bring in a lot here's the problem I'm seeing is, how do you get somebody to tell you something? You can't. You really, really need to hear this thing, but you can't force somebody to talk to you, right? So I don't know. I don't know if it's as easy as you being able to be like, hey, let's talk. Maybe this is somebody you haven't talked to in a while. I don't know. But if it's somebody that, especially with this Three of Swords reversed here, showing up next to it, it feels like, if it's somebody that's from the past, ooh, yeah, especially with the Six of Cups. Duh. Okay, I'm going to go on this, I'm going to run on this note. It's somebody from your past that you need to have a conversation with, because there's something that didn't get said that needed to, or blah, 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 from them. That would be helpful for you to know this information for whatever reason in your life. And it feels like you could probably get them to talk by reaching out. Like, I don't think this is going to be hard for you to get this other person to talk. I think that you just need to initiate it. But the problem I see here is, I don't know, there's something weird about it that it feels like you feel stuck. So I don't know if it's based on like an argument you've had in the past with the Five of Wands here, kind of giving me that indication. I don't know if it's because you're the one who like burned a bridge and you feel, like I said, it could be Five of Wands simply, but it could be Five of Wands complex, where it's like you made it so that you cannot, no. You made it so that they cannot tell this to you. If in the past, like this reminds me of somebody who like has tried to be honest with somebody and then it backfired. So then they were like, okay, well then I'm just not going to tell this person anymore, because look what good it did. Like, they learned their lesson to not say anything. I'm not sure if that's exactly what happened with you, but it does feel like they can't come to you and talk to you with their problems. So maybe they think you're too busy, maybe they think that you don't care, or that you're not the right person to help them, but the problem is it has to do with you. So I'm like, well, it would be nice if it'd be nice for you to have this information. Let me just say it like that. Well, again, there's the conundrum of how to get somebody to tell you information when it feels like it's coming from them, but you're the one who needs to hear it. Okay, so I'm going to clear these cards away. And then get more. Yeah. Page of Pentacles coming out right at the first card. So let's say you do initiate something, okay? Now, some of you I think are saying, nope, not happening. I'm not going to initiate. They need to. I've done everything I can, and if they haven't, if it hasn't worked so far, then not going to come from me. I get it. Because if I got this reading, I can tell you right now, I sure as shit wouldn't do shit, because I don't care. But, it's different. I'm getting a different vibe for you. You're not like, you're not me. We don't have the same situation. So if we did, if we had the same situation, I wouldn't be telling you to talk to this person, because it's going to cause you problems. I'm not getting them for you, though. You have the ability to. You might even already have an open dialogue with this person, or meaning you have a way that you could reach out, like it's just a quick text or something that you can be like, hey, what's up? And then they'd be like, hey, what's up? It's easy for you. Some people don't have that kind of easiness to it. you really do have to evaluate. Do you have that or not? Do you have the ability to even do something? And if you do, then despite your stubbornness, you probably should act on it, because it's like, it feels like it's of benefit to you. That's what I'm trying to get at here. For one way or the other, you might not know the benefit that I'm talking about. That's the point. It's like you might go, well, I don't have a good reason to. Well, you'd be surprised. That kind of thing. Just humor me here is the feeling. It feels to me like as if spirit would be like really pounding their head against the wall right now, going, oh my god, please just do something already. Frustrating. So yeah, all right, I won't dwell on that. Really, with you, the saying, like, it's like beating a dead horse is literally literal. You must be very stubborn. Capricorn energy, maybe you have a Capricorn sun, moon, or rising, or something like a heavy Capricorn energy in your chart. Normally I don't throw out astrology, but it just, you know, I just say what I say. Whatever comes to my head when I do these readings, I say it, because then I can't move on to the next thing usually if I don't. All right, here's, I'm gonna branch off. This is different, okay? I'm not, like I said, I'm moving on from that last one. If you gotta hear it again, go back and listen. You have some kind of skill. You have a special skill. And you can do this skill on your own. Let's say you're working for somebody, but you know something that you can do, that you can work for yourself. That is needed, because it feels like where you're currently at, or what you're currently doing, or who you're currently working for, is a dead end. And so something needs to shift with that. Otherwise, you're just going to stay in a rut, a perpetual rut, it feels. Yeah, sure, it's enough. Yeah, sure, it makes ends meet, blah, blah, blah. Sure. But it ain't nowhere near where you could be. That's for sure. You got some huge potential here. Like I said, this is a completely separate message from what I was just saying. But if you pick 1 and 2, I kind of forget now what I was saying about, like, I totally suck at this. Okay, so like I was saying something to the effect of you needing to have a conversation with somebody, and then by doing so, something new will reveal, but you don't know what it is yet until you have that conversation. Well, guess what? If you picked 1 and 2, that's what's up. Because you got the Ace of Pentacles in this one, but then you got all this new energy, like, that I was talking about. Now, if you just pick 2 only, same thing, except this doesn't require another person. Like, it doesn't require, you can do this right frickin' now. Like, what are you waiting for? Overdue. Okay. Option 2, maybe you're already doing this. Good job. I'm trying to pat you on your back. Good job. You did it. Keep going. Don't let anything that might potentially be causing you second thoughts right now bother you, because it's not gonna last permanently. It's a phase. It's a growing pain. It's a temporary. So at some point, near future, things are looking good. Things are looking real good financially, business-wise, if you're in an entrepreneur type dealio. Okay? Like I said, though, if you're not yet, do it like yesterday. If you've been thinking about it, if you know what you might want to do, you got to do it. Okay? There's that. Because also, starts out with the Ace of Pentacles. You go through all the cards. Your finale conclusion card is the Ace of Wands. What does that mean? well, you're going to get an opportunity based on whatever changes you make that, that we're talking about right here. You're going to be like, okay, now that you've done this, hey, you, opportunity. Wait, who, me? Really? Yes, you. Here you go. And you're going to be like, oh my God, wait, what? It seems like it's going to be awesome. It'll never happen if you don't put yourself out there like that, though. That has to be the precursor. Okay? Okay? So, your sleep will be so much better, too, if you, especially if you're a group 1 and 2. But if you're just group 2, your sleep will be so much better if you just, like, are not dealing with the hassle of other people. Honestly. You got other people affecting your life. It feels like they're like dangling a carrot in front of you and they're like getting you to do tricks. That's what it feels like. It feels like they're like, hey, you, do a little jig. And you're like, really? And they're like, if you want this carrot, do the little jig. And they're just doing it because it gives them like an ego trip. And you're doing it because you need that freaking carrot. That's kind of like the vibe I'm getting for it. That's what the energy feels like of whoever it is that I'm feeling like, get away from that energy. They suck. That kind of thing. Okay. Well. I mean, this is kind of repeating it. 3 of Wands. And this is a project that you've had for a while stewing. So definitely take advantage of... Ooh, and then there's the 2 of Wands too. I mean, also. The 2 of Wands also. Yeah. You already know what it is that you want to do, then you explain to me. This is what I would say if you were in front of me. You'd be like, well, this is the thing I've been thinking about doing. I'd be like, okay, so what is it that you need to do to make that happen? Oh, well, I need this. Okay, cool. Well, then let's figure out how to get that, because it's clear that you have the idea. It's clear that you have the know-how. What probably is the holdup is the money. It's like, if you just had the ability to start it, so that's the thing. Feels like somebody who has put it off because of whatever reason, but also because they're thinking, well, I'm gonna save to be able to do this, then I'll be able to do it. Takes too long that way. Can figure it out. Make it happen sooner. Other people being involved. Okay, so remember I just said you need other people to not be involved? Well, that's because it was a different context. It was somebody like over you. This context is you and like-minded people being involved together, and that's being fun, actually, because that's the problem is, who wants to go to work every day and it be something that they don't enjoy doing, whether it be because of the actual job they do or be it because of the people they work with. So in your instance, it's like, okay, well, let's change that whole dynamic. Okay. I don't know how your relationship looks, but you have the potential for like a legit connection with somebody. So if you're already with that person, awesome. Great. Happy for you. If you're not, you're going to have to bring that in. You might not know the person, I don't know, but like, you know, you getting really clear on what it is you actually do want for a relationship. And putting it out there and being like, that's what I want. I don't want more of what didn't work. Some people, there's two schools of thought. Some people are like, I have to be really clear about what I do want. But if I focus on what I don't want, it's going to bring that to me also, or something. Or I don't know. It's weird. I personally feel like you can say what it is you want and what you don't want without fear that you're going to bring the what you don't want to you just because you're, you know, they're like, oh, don't put energy to it by even thinking about it. Don't even think. And it's like, no, I got to be really clear about what I don't want to. I feel no more of that. Done. Over. Okay, fine. She's really clear on that. No more of that. We got it. That's kind of my thought of it, though. Now, being really clear on what you do want, though, if you're trying to manifest something new, is important. Because some people are just up to chance. And they're like, oh, whatever the universe sends me is fine. I'm cool. And no. Because what's going to happen if you do that is you're going to get somebody who's going to teach you lessons. Lessons suck. I'm done with lessons. Aren't you done with lessons? Why don't we have somebody who's like legit awesome for us instead of a lessons person? No thanks. Done with lessons. You know? Over that. That's so last year. Lessons. It's like I've learned enough. I got this. I figured it out. Everything's copacetic. Now I want legit mutual connection with somebody who checks all my boxes and absolutely does not check my no pile boxes. Okay? So there's that. Okay. Final 3 cards. What you got? Okay. These also clarifying what I just said. Yes. But what else? I don't even know what this means, but it's like it's easier to go on horse than it is to walk. Okay, who rides horses anymore? So it's easier to go in a car than it is to walk. That's random. Where'd that come from? Okay. What else? It's weird when I get weird little things like that because I'm sure it means something, but I'm not getting the message. So I'd have to sit here and like ponder this, and I'm like, I'm not in the mood for that right now. I'm not in a pondering type of mood. If you don't say it straight up, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it'll come to me later. Feels like dreams too, you know. They can be so cryptic and weird, and you're just sitting here going, the hell was that about? Like, I recently read something about dreams that were talking about, it's 444 if you're into that weird stuff. But yeah, I was like, I read something about how this is a lot of our last incarnation. And for those of us who it is your last incarnation, you have dreams that are about like transportation in general. And I'm always having dreams about trains, but the big one, I'm always having dreams where I'm in hotels. Well, in my life now, I have stayed in a plethora of hotels, but that's not really like, it feels different than that. And I'm like, okay, so what do hotels mean in relation to meaning? Like, okay, I'm not going to sit here and go Google dream interpretation dictionary, you know. It's like something that these dreams that you have that are like really vivid like that, you have to instead kind of be receptive to when you say something, what does that mean? You just kind of like put it on the side, and then you are expecting passively something to come to you later that answers that question. And so, parting message for your group is I am getting that a lot of you guys are very intuitive people, and maybe that's what you're supposed to be doing for your spiritual dealio, or I wasn't even going to say your spiritual, your change of things, you know, like going from one thing to another. Maybe it's supposed to be of a spiritual nature. Maybe you're supposed to be doing something that's not like an everyday life kind of thing. Like, you're not supposed to be working at Taco Bell. You're supposed to be doing tarot readings. You see the contrast? Because I don't know if you just need to be told that, or if you just, you know, because I don't know if it's a confidence thing, or if it's an experience thing, or if it's a needing more practice. Well, it was the experience, but you know what I mean, though. Like, I don't know what the restriction or the holdback is, but it feels like you just need to be like told, yeah, you can do it. You are ready to do it. You don't need permission. You don't need some sort of training or certification. I'll be in a tarot group, and they'll be like, I would like to do readings for 5 people for free. I am an unauthorized, no, not unauthorized, I'm an unimproved reader. And I'm like, okay, if you are an approved reader, who approves you? Who approves readers? I need to know. Like, it makes sense if you're working somewhere. Like, obviously, when I came to work here, I had to do a test reading. But that's different than you just doing something on your own, you know? If you are intuitive, there is a thing for you. It's just, you got to find your thing. And sometimes that takes maybe a personal reading. I can help you hone in on your thing. Okay? So I'll leave you guys with that. And I am moving on to 3. All right, pile 3, ready to get going on your reading? 3 court cards, all reversed. 9 of Wands, another court card reversed. Tower reversed. The wheel, the world reversed. Hanged Man upright, who looks reversed. Ooh, the wheel upright. Ace of Wands reversed. Okay. What can I tell these lovely group 3 people? So there's like a breakthrough that's on its way, or already? Yeah, on its way. Okay, there's a breakthrough available for you to bump up spiritually. Like, it feels like almost like out of nowhere, but it's as a result of you asking for it. You know, you asking to have, you might be experiencing a period of time where you're blocked. You have blocked energy or blocked spirituality, intuition, and hearing your own messages and stuff like that. And you're just like, okay, you might even know what it is you have to do. Like, you're like, oh, you're right, I haven't been meditating as much. Or I haven't been doing this and that as much as I need to do this and that in order for me to be where I need to be in order to be receptive. It could also be something like nothing really has been going on, so I haven't needed to use my intuition. But that's not really ideal, because you always want to be open to your intuition, even if there's nothing serious going on in your life at the time. It's something that you always want to be developing. It's hard for me to understand people who don't do that, because for me, I work doing tarot readings, so I'm always having to be attached to my intuition on a day-to-day basis. What is it like to not be somebody who does tarot readings all the time? I don't know. I have no freaking idea what that's like. I think I would go crazy, though. I'd be like, so. Oh, God, I can't even think of what it would be like, honestly. Some people, it's just like in your DNA, you know? It's in your bones that you do spiritual stuff. You know? Being the broad spectrum of all the different types of things. Because you might be somebody who's drawn to meditation and like going on a retreat somewhere and meditating with some sort of people, and then like sitting around a campfire and talking spiritual stuff. That would be fun for me. I would love that. But I don't have anybody in my life who does stuff like that right now. Also, I think of some people from my past, but I just feel so disconnected from them, because they're in the same exact place in life that they were in X amount of years ago. And I don't even know how to identify or have a conversation with people that are like that, because they're just so carefree. They have no worries. They have nothing in their life that they're tied to or responsible for. They don't even have a pet. Like, they have never had a job. Like, legit. They've never had a job. I don't know what the frick they do, but they go around. Oh, okay, take it back. They've had a job, but they haven't, like, ever worked like a regular job, you know. They'll do things like travel the world and farm, and I don't know what they do. I don't know. I'm like, God, what would it be like to live like that? That'd be awesome, but no. Because I have definitely not set myself up for a life where I could do that. I have a lot of worldly things that need my attention. And I'm fine with that, because I need the grounding. So, although if I'm saying I'm pile, I guess I'm probably pile 3, because it just makes sense. We of pile 3, our spiritual identity is so interwoven in our daily life that we have made it a reality, whereas some people don't even have it as part of their existence, and other people dabble in it, but it's here and there. But we have made it in a way that works for us. Though I can't go camp out in the woods till further notice, eating the berries of the forest and meditating, I can do what I do, you know, tarot readings. And to me, that's my equivalent as far as staying in touch with spirituality. But the message I started with, it feels like the way you and I differ is that you need to connect back in, because maybe you've had a period of disconnect. So you need to figure out a way to incorporate it into your daily life in a more tangible way. You need it to be whether it be like a career that you make out of it, like I've done, or whether you make it like just something that you do as a daily ritual, part of your daily life. Either way, spirituality needs to be as inherent to you as breathing. Spirituality needs to be your thing, just like it is mine. I could not, I don't know. I mean, I've done it before, so I remember what it was like when I didn't have that connection. I don't know. I lived. I was alive. It's just it wasn't like it is now. And anybody pile 3, you know what I'm talking about. When you have that strong connection, how you just feel different. You feel better. Everything is everything flows, everything makes sense. You understand things at a deeper level. There you go. Pile 3 people, check this out. We got to rise above all the craziness, because this is the thing. Pile 1 and 2 were very, very heavy lessons and karma stuff. And part of me was going, oh my God, am I just like this energy right now? And every reading I do is going to be that? No, because pile 1, very, very heavy. Pile 2 started that way, but then got light. And I was like, oh, thank God, I feel better. Okay, well, you guys, total different vibe as soon as I started. Just not even the cards. I'm not really, really, really reading the cards. For you guys, it's more like I'm just getting the messages because I'm like on that wavelength, I guess. But on the other hand, you guys, I feel, have some sort of like latent spiritual awakening that's waiting also. I mean, it never really stops. You just go through them over and over and again. But I feel like you have one more, at least at this time. But this is a different one. This is, I mean, I'm even going to tell you what it is. Normally I'd say something like, oh, well, it's different for everybody, because that's what I say on these readings. But no, I'm getting the same message for everybody. For group 3 is that it's about having a bigger perspective of things and analyzing. Okay, this is the thing that I'm looking at right now. How do I see this from a bigger perspective? You might say, well, Angie, I already do this. There's always more. But wait, there's more. Because there is. It's like, think bigger. So let's say you're familiar with the terms 3D, 5D, 7D, okay? And 3D is everything around us that we can see, feel, hear, touch, whatever. 4D, 5D, 6D, all the way up to 7D. 7D perspective is where I'm kind of going, maybe even higher. Because 5D perspective is what we've all been working to integrate. And some of us, it's like, that's our normal. Me doing these tarot readings, that's my normal. What would be my 7D normal, though, if I were like that all the time? I don't know. Because, like, I do slip into it sometimes, but I don't stay in it. Also, to me, that would be like me writing a book or something. It's like next level. Other people are doing that. I'm not there. If I was getting a reading and somebody said, hey, you need to be writing a book, I'd be like, damn it, I know. Stop bothering me about it, because I already know. But I'm holding myself back because I don't feel ready. Like, I don't even know what to do. So I'm just like, okay. When the inspiration comes, I will do that. And I get like little hints of inspiration, but none of them feel, I'm just like, I feel stuck where I'm at right now. I feel like I'm in a stuck spot spiritually. I'm fine where I'm at, that's great. But there is an element of always striving and wanting more. And like more awareness, more depth, more understanding. more connection, more intuition, more whatever the heck I'm trying to say. Like when I'm doing a reading, oh, I might be really, really, really great and accurate, and that's awesome. But more, you can never. I mean, like literally, like freak people out and read their minds and stuff, and then they freak out. I don't know, but because I do come up with some stuff that I don't know where it comes from, but I know it, But that's normal. I'm talking about next level here. So, but then I have this other problem, which is integrating with what's going on in the world right now. And it's like, okay, what needs to happen here? Well, I'll tell you this. The old has to come down before the new can begin. 2, I have to be in it, but not so in it that it engulfs me. I have to be able to be in it and continue to be me in it and not get lost. I have to have a bigger perspective, but yet still be relatable. I have to, so these are all those things. And that's what we in pile 3 are needing to integrate right now. There's a lot of integration. There's a lot of, okay, this is what I've done so far. This is what I need to be doing, and I know. And then this is what I need to be doing, and I don't even know yet. All right, so if you're group 3, I'm going to pick a card for us from the Yogic Path Oracle, because these cards are kind of like tarot's great and all, but I don't really feel like we need a tarot reading in our group. We need more. So let's see what we get. I like these cards. They're cool. Somebody was trying to argue with me. Listen, don't try to argue with me. I'm right. And I'm always right. Okay, thanks. Anyways, somebody was trying to argue with me that cards are just leaving things up to chance. Like, there's no divine correlation with them. They're just like, you get something random. There's no order to it. There's no value or benefit to using cards. I get my intuition without using cards. Cards are just this and that. And I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. First of all, if you get me saying first of all, then you're in trouble. Okay. Ooh, so this was the bottom card. When I opened it up, it was prana, which is breath, and pitta energy. I feel I'm a pitta energy when I do my doshic. What the hell is it called now? Constitution or whatever. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then you're like, what are you talking about? It's not important. If you know what I'm talking about, then I'm not just mumbling. Okay, Pitta 33. Basically, comment below what your dosha is. I'd like to know, because I think I'm a Pitta. What about you? You're probably a Pitta because I picked Pitta card. The fiery dosha. Powerful, strong-willed, and feisty. Is that you? Are you powerful, strong-willed, and feisty? Are you fiery? Okay. Fire and water are the 2 most powerful elements that can create and destroy anything. Together, they create Pitta, which is empowering you today. You are in a determined place in your life. You know what you want, and a fire has been set under your seat to achieve it. You are setting goals for yourself and focused on the task at hand. Perhaps this is the time to emerge as a leader and teach others your strength and wisdom. You are transforming the world with your actions. Just don't lose connection with the water within you and remember to play. How accurate was this? Okay, let me see if it's reversed, which it wasn't. I want to just look through it really quick. Yeah, I'm going to read it anyway. So, like I said, it didn't come up reversed, but this is the reversed energy of Pitta. Has the fire you were fueled by now burned you? When Pitta is upside down, chances are your fire has depleted. Perhaps you were so focused on the next step you forgot to remember the greater picture. Don't you love when that happens? And it says the thing you just said, but it says it quicker and better. It's easy to become caught up in the day-to-day when Pitta is in command. However, too much pent-up fire can cause anger, agitation, and impatience. If you're having anger, agitation, and impatience, you might want to consider that you have an imbalance of your Pitta dosha. Allow yourself to go with the flow. Life doesn't always go your way, and that's what makes it beautiful. Ease and grace are your mantras, and cooling fruit and vegetables are your medicine. Okay, there's that. And prana was the bottom card. Let's see what prana is all about in this booklet. Prana 43. I mean, obviously it's going to say breathe. You need to focus on your breath. Okay. Subtle essence of vital force. Subtle essence of vital life force and breath, flexible and creative. When you are prana full, you are beaming with vital force. Energy flows easily throughout your body, and you are at one with divine consciousness. You dance through life with fluid movement, and your energy extends out of your body, felt by those surrounding you. You are in control of your breath and utilize it to move life force around you, bringing your mind, body, and spirit into balance. Continue to breathe into the light that exists within you. This is your connection to universal pranic energy. Okay, and if it's reversed, look at your breath and you are looking into your life. Is your breath shallow, quick, contained, rather than deep, slow, and expansive? This is what is blocking prana from moving throughout your body. Your breath is a signal of how you are feeling. And when you breathe quick and shallow breaths, you are signaling to your body that you are in danger. Simply by breathing more deeply into the belly, you are calming down your nervous system and allowing more positive thoughts to come through. Transform your breath and you will transform your life. Okay, so there's a really weird message I'm going to tell you guys. I read about this. Somebody said, what's going on right now? Coronavirus, it affects your breath, right? It's your respiratory system and people being on ventilators. Well, also what happened with George Floyd and him saying, I can't breathe. And they're all like making this connection between the two. How ironic is it, you know? And then so me pulling that card, I felt like that was relevant, something to mention. I feel like it is true that we all need to get back to our breath. More so than that, like prana and chi are synonymous, right? They're the life force. And chi, if you think about your home, you want to have good chi flowing through your home, right? So if you have stagnant energy in your home space, it's going to affect that area of the Bhagwa, whether it be your career, whether it be your relationship, whether it be whatever. Well, same through your body as far as your own energy and your own chi. When's the last time I did Tai Chi? I don't even remember. It sucks. I mean, I've done yoga recently-ish, not like I used to. And the way I used to do Tai Chi is I taught it, so it made me do the class too, which was freaking awesome. But now I haven't been teaching it, so I haven't been taking it, and I haven't been going to the place that teaches it either because they've been closed and this whole thing. So for us in pile 3, we have to get back to the things that we know that when we do them, they're beneficial to us in spiritual ways. And not just because we know we should because they're good for our health. Totally different. You know, yeah, I know I should do yoga because it's going to help me lose weight. But that's not the benefit that is really coming from yoga. It's the spiritual effect that you get from it. Same with Tai Chi, same with meditating, same with doing oracle cards or any other kind of spiritual thing. As long as you're dedicating part of your day to doing something that is for the intention of expansion and growing your own spiritual being in this world, thinking bigger perspective, having that as your, you know what I mean? Like your way of thinking about things, then you're golden. All right. So if you guys have any questions on anything, let me know. And if you like that card deck, I highly recommend you get a Yogic Path. You can get it on Amazon. I love it. It's awesome. I haven't used it before for these readings because I just kind of use it for myself so far. So anyways, bye.